All right. Um, Welcome back. So, just picking up where we left last time, and let's see. I'm just quickly going to share this stream with a few people on Twitter, and you can see my Twitter. That's fine. And there you go. Right. So we were at the Tang Nano stuff. We were working with the GoWin 1L one FPGA, specifically the Tang Nano S FPGA board, which you can see sitting on my desktop. And we were hitting a block where I needed to download some particular files from the IDE and copy it over, but the download speed was too low, so I just had it downloading overnight. It finished downloading and it was the files we needed. So this particular error that happened. To show you guys the files, this is the particular ones, IDE programmer and this thing. I'm not sure if you need that, but from IDE I think it required IDE share device go on one and one of these files to sort of get started, I guess. So we are just following the setup instructions or instructions here, and we'll just run the last command once again, which is python 3 19 hx4.py h4x.py. That seems to have worked fine. Dumped out a bunch of data, and it should have created a .json file. And let's see, yep, gw1n1.json, which is nice. And then we are running tiled fuzzer.py, which should create a pickle file. Yep, python 3. I was forget that I don't have my python sadly set up to do the default one. Yes, so this infamously will take a longer time. I think it's done, or it's doing something. It's still running, and I think it's done now. No, still running. Yeah, so the dev did say that this particular step does take a few seconds to complete. Let's see where, I think it was here or somewhere else. Mm. I'm not sure which script he's talking about, but it will take and there's another script coming that takes up more time. I'm not sure if it's just hung. Not enough values to unpack. Okay. Symbol lookup error. That does not seem right. That is a system library it's looking for. Sure, what's happening if it's even supposed to happen. Hmm. And it's already installed, so and still there. So if I press enter, it either exits at a weird part, or is because I don't understand if it's me pressing enter that's making it die, or if it's just doing its stuff. I also don't understand what this particular error is about. Um, okay, let me run it again and just not press enter while it's doing its thing. Um, am I missing something completely here? Also, my free type is 2.1.0, and for a lot of people, this was fixed in 2.9. So it could be something to do with two new libraries. And the thing is, it's running something from GW underscore sh, and I think that is having problem with libconf font config. So one of the things to try, uh, so this particular, which one is it, GW underscore sh, and so two things I can try is to create run all of this in a LXC machine, and if that doesn't work, I don't even think if I have my LXC machine now. I was trying out something, I think I ended up removing it. Samples and let's see, lib. So they have lib free type. Lib is there a font config here? Huh? Just free type, not font config. So lib64 font config. And let's try that now. Oh wait, right, there's so.1 as well. That's fine. Uh-oh. Let's try this again if it still happens. Still does. So it's not looking in its own. Oh, so the same font config is having the same error. Okay. Let's see if I can get that particular file from somewhere else. Okay, and that should be 2.9, should be fine. Maybe it's a 2.10 thing. So they even have 2.11 for stretch. All right. Let's see. AMD64. What do you have for Buster? 1.3. It still does. Bullseye is 2.13. SID is 2.13. Oh, Fedora has an older font config. That is very weird. I think we have 2.1. Which the one we have is 1.2. That doesn't make much sense. Save file. Cancel. Save file. Not going to install it. I'm just going to copy the extract. This particular one is a link, so we'll use this, and then installation IDE libhist. So they have the 1.8 here. I hope that solves the problem. Aha, that worked. So yeah, it just needed an older font config. Nice. Um, that worked. Yay. Oh, that's taking some load on the CPU, I think. Whoa. Stream must be dead. Stream's been going down in a bit. That is amazing. Yep, it's done. And the stream should be back in a bit. I need to find some sort of alternative where I can still stream. And we go into CD generic, which is the place where we have our blinky stuff, and we are just going to use the blinky for our particular FPGA. It's, I think, a very similar design. Um, and we should be able to work with that. Uh, oh, next PNR generic command. Does next PNR actually has a generic option? I think we'll have to compile next PNR again. And so darc is equal to is 40, but that doesn't make the generic one. Can we do generic then? ECP5 and generic, yeah. So there is a generic target. Well, sometime down the road I'll have to solve the darc all stuff, because right now it's not building for me. I'm not sure if you guys are again receiving enough frames. It seems fine from my end, and it's only using 4 cores, so that means 4 of them should still be available for OBS, which is enough. Ooh, 98%. All right, let's see. Let's see. Come on. sudo make install. Should be done. Run that again, and that is working now. And that is done. I would have liked to see the GUI bits. Let's see if there's something we can change to run XPNR in GUI. It's been a while since I've used an XPNR with GUI. Okay. Right, no GUI for us. Right, so that's done, and I think now start the packing. That's done. I don't know what that does. Why are we unpacking it again? Oh, it creates a PNG file for us, so we can actually view it. Which lib is that? Go in Apicula. Ah, that's the representation in PNG. It's divided into the 1216 by 274, and that's sort of a, I'll call it a heat map. It probably makes more sense to a lot more people, but since it's in PNG, you can, so it's doing the the smoothness thing. Small images are zoomed in, automatic orientation is fine. Right, so now it won't smooth it. Right, yeah, that's your placing. I don't know what the FS is or how to open it. Right. Oh, it's showing us in the dot viewer. Oh, that is actually, so either I've not been using the dot viewer like everybody else, or like it's being used here, but whatever I build is like a straight line, and this stuff is going for long. There it is. Yeah, couldn't find, I'm not sure what the IO buff is for the LEDs. Is it this one? I'm not sure. And then we can program it. So Oh, so it is current packfs is just a bitstream. um okay, packfs resides here. um what else do you want from me? No, not found bitstream file. Fs file. I gave you the path. Do you want a complete path? Why did I do that? Okay, now it really needed the complete path. That's not how you program stuff. Right, logging it in. It's all happy right now. It's blinking. I'll show you the feed. There it is. Can resize it, move it somewhere around here so everyone can see it, and let's try that again. I'm going to alright, so it's doing the thing I thought it would do. So I think one of the colors comes in first and then they go away one by one, which makes sense. So if we read out the blinky file, um, so we have our 25-bit register, and we have our LEDs assigned to 25 to 23. So for the time, let's say the 23rd bit gets on first, and then it will just sort of shift on until it's 111. That's when the white light happens, and then it goes the other way, um, and that's how you get your multicolor pattern. Now if I just simply wanted to speed it up a bit, I can just remove a bit here. That will speed it up by, I think, factor of 2. So can do 24, and then here this can be 24 and 22, and then I can start all over again with the cd generic, run the bash script. It's taking a few seconds. That's done, almost. So even here, I think we have blinky.png that if you want to see, you can. Blinky.png. What is it? All right, it's just the Yosis stuff in PNG format, which doesn't look that good. Oh, that is extremely complicated. Right, I'm not used to seeing Yosis flows that are this complicated for some reason. I'm not sure why. Is it this complicated? Maybe I usually just see the Yosis flow, which is simply based on the files that I create instead of the files that Yosis creates and then saves them. So it doesn't contain all of the trickery required for the FPGA to work. just my particular module. All right, so moving on. Python go in JSON blinky, paste it here. Of course, it's Python 3. I don't need to pack unpack, or do we? I think we do need to unpack that for yours, and it will just show us the entire unpacked thing. Why is it starting file in proc? I don't know. Yeah, so again, the entire flow, not going into it again. Now what you should see is a much is like some magnitude faster flickering. Bypass with non-go-in device quit. Not sure why that happened. I think I need to reset it once it's done. This is the flash failure the developer was talking about, because that usually happens um, if you flash anything that's built by this toolchain right now. It removes the ability to flash again. So I haven't flashed it, I was just trying to flash it without resetting it, so I need to reset, and now it will start. And now you can see that it has significantly sped up its design. Now we can go it we'll actually uh, speed it up by a factor of exponent of 2. That means I'm literally going to just use 12 bits instead of 24. And what you should see is a mostly white light because of yeah, vision retention and that sort of stuff. So if I'll go here, and so it's working, and if I go to 12, and here I go 12 to 11, that should significantly speed that up. And let's go to generic. Let's wait for that to finish. Right, I didn't even bother checking the timing stuff that it generated. So yeah, so it can with this design I can go to a max clock of 769.23 megahertz. um Not sure how accurate the timing is with this project right now, but seems to be working fine. And so that's done. Let's go back, run the pack stuff, then run the unpack stuff. Not sure if we even need the unpack stuff. I don't think we need the unpack stuff. Let's try without the unpack stuff. And it will fail, so you need to disconnect it. There's no onboard reset switch, so you have to manually plug it and plug it back in. So now you can see the default firmware has taken over, so the speed has greatly reduced. I'll keep it here, and let's do that again. And see, now it's mostly stuck because it's switching so fast our eyes can't see much. Like if I move it, you might be able to see a little. Red is very little in there because um, it's on the LSB side, so it just gets switched on and off too much. And then green is on the MSB side, so it's getting switched on and off quite a bit, but not as much. um, so yeah, it's a and if you wanted the original uh, RGB one at a time kind of thing, then you can modify the design, and this will be a nice exercise to follow. Where is it? Modify the design in a particular way where you assign these LEDs with, let me think how I will go for it. You actually have a new register called, either have a new register called or one particular register for each, and you then, so you go all right. I'm doing this in a very weird way, just because. So we have a 1-bit register. I don't know if you even need to define it, but I'll just call it red, blue, and green. And then for LEDs, 0, I'll give it red, and LED 1, I'll give blue, and then green. So that's 2. And create a second always clock. Let's make this into 24. Create a second always clock at pause EDGE with CTR but at 24, and that would give us a 1 second pulse. And then here 1, 2, 3, and then there would be a 4th one always, but and we'll need to start with at least one LED enabled. So, and then the others I'll just set to 0. So do we can initialize the registers, right? So that way, and we have a counter with just 2 bits, 0 to 1, that will count up to 4. Let's set this as 0, and here we'll increment the counter, so CNT +1, and then what was the switch case for Verilog? It has been a while since I've done Verilog, so I'm going to Google a lot of this. And Is that VHDL? No. Wait, what? So we go case. Hey, thanks, Theor. A13, same guy. Happy holidays to you as well. And let's go case CNT. Should do it. And case. I'm probably doing it super complicated and people are screaming at me. So we go to B. You can always go numeric, so I can just go 0, and here I can go all right. Now I have completely forgotten what would the invert. Yes, I cannot remember what was the bitwise inverter for it. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. So there was like a. Am I just messing up my brain or what? I mean, you can always invert by just going +1. There used to be a proper inverse thing. Bitwise negation, each other toggle. Okay, yeah, so toggle is swiggy thing. Have to go begin here. Well, I mean, there's no need for this, right? We are inverting. Oh, but we need to invert just 1 or 2 color at once. There needs to be a better implementation of this. I'm not thinking right. Uh-huh. You know what? It's too late of a night to think, right? The correct way would be to create a shift register, which would shift the value. Um, I'm doing this way too complicated, but you know what? Why not? I'm going to manually toggle it to 1. Yep, funny times. All right, let's see if this works. If it doesn't, then well, it's my fault. Anyway, okay, let's go into, let's create the, where is it? Aha, number 25. So for one, what is wrong with this? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12. Segmentation, blinky 25, syntax and unexpected token ID. Did I forget anything? All the doesn't seem like it. What's the error? I'm not unexpected token ID. It's 25. This is line 25. That's 26. This is 25. Oh, forgot the braces. Again. Now it's again 25. I don't get it. That's 25. What does it say? Passing it input blinky error, syntax error, unexpected token ID. Oh, CNT does map to an unexpanded memory. Error identifier. Oh, what? Why does my count map to unexpected memory? CNT, 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 CNT. Why does CNT mount to unexpected memory? Let's just remove that and try it with that. Class map to an Do you want me to call it something? Control? Is that what you want? Or so yeah, so it's not something that's we've been using already. What do they mean by maps from names? That never used to happen. I've written stuff like this. It's also 1:16 a.m. Um, Still on 25. Still on this line. Not sure why. Actually, it must be this line. That's 25 now. You know what? Invalid array access. Who told you to map it as a memory? Oh, I see why. That happens when you've not programmed in Verilog for long. There you go. That's working. And we got around. Oh, so it identified that CTR is a secondary clock inside that I created. So it's showing that CTR can run at 1.2 gigahertz and the actual clock can run at 3.363 megahertz, which is nice. Did not know about that about XPNR anyways. So now run the, where is it, this one, yep, packing from the JSON. That's done, and then flash it, sudo flash. First I have to disconnect it. So now you might see a pattern that's very similar to this one, but with a bright white light at the end. Yep, so what? Turquoise, orange. Is it active high? Or sorry, active low? I honestly did not know that. Seems to be active low. CD That is active low. I've never seen that on an FPGA design, on a board design where the LEDs are active low. I mean, I've probably have, but never on FPGA board. So blinky, blink, blink. Oh, and let me just invert all of that. I mean, it's bad code anyway, so who cares? But at least make it work properly once. And then we'll try. The last thing I want to try is PWM generation on these things. And at some point, I'll put all of this in a make file. Yeah. So reset it. Blue, green, red, blue, green, white, red, blue, green, white, red, blue, green, white. So yeah, the thing I'm seeing with this particular LED that they have put on here is that green is, in terms of luminosity, very aggressive than the rest of the LEDs, and that is causing some sort of, like, when it goes white it's mostly green, and then a little bit of like it's very light green, and a little bit of pinkish tint thrown in there. So not a very high quality LED, but it's a $5 board. Not really going to complain. But the good part is that it actually worked. I don't have sadly much time right now, so I am going to close this stream. Huge shout out to this guy. Where is he? For the reverse engineering project. I am not going to attempt to pronounce this person's name because I probably don't know and I'll butcher it. But there you go. Follow him on Twitter. Wait, you can't even see his profile. Yeah, follow him on Twitter and all of that good stuff. And I will be seeing you all sometime soon. Maybe not super soon. Um, yeah. Thanks for watching, I guess. Ta-da!